if they find the right offensive tackle, if they could find with experience, because they took the young man from Texas A&M out of the portal, but he is a guy that has never played. Mm-hmm. And so they might still look for an experienced tackle. They might look for another safety that's experienced potentially if they want to move Malachi Moore around. I do think they're probably done at corner, though, because, again, they have some young guys, I was saying, and then they're bringing in a gargantuan. It's probably going to grow to 7 because Zay Mincy from Daytona Beach Mainland, one of the better corners / nickel / safeties. He played a lot of different positions potentially in college. Mm-hmm. He is going to commit at the All-American game on Saturday, which is the formerly Army game. That's the second All-Star game. Remember, they had the Under Armour game earlier this week. Yeah. And now on the weekend on Saturday they have the All-American game. Alabama likely to get 2 pledges out of this All-American game. Zay Mincy the first, Daytona Beach Mainland. There's a strong indication that T-Rob may have locked him up and he signed early with Alabama on the 20th of December. And then Daniel Hill, jumbo running back, Meridian, Mississippi. And see, that goes back to something else we can discuss because we know what happened. And I guess – guys, was it after your show? I guess it was after your show that Quinshawn Moneybags went into the portal.
Yeah, I think it was after. I think it was after.
Right after.
Right after you. So we didn't get it. Y'all didn't get a chance to really hit on that. You'll probably hit on it today. Quinshawn Judkins, the leading rusher in the SEC 2 years ago. This past year, not the leading rusher, but the leading touchdown maker. Mm-hmm. He's gone into the portal He announced, along with Jackson Dart and Trey Harris, that he was coming back to Ole Miss, but yet now I think he's trying to see what he's worth. I had someone message me on during Talking Ball this morning, and I wondered if he was going to Alabama, and I was like, hell no, I wouldn't touch him because I think it'd be a cancer in your locker room. But Alabama's already got a loaded running back room because there's another announcement that could happen today, tomorrow. What's Jace McClellan going to do? Alabama's starting running back had 87 yards, 2 touchdowns in the Rose Bowl. He's got another year because of COVID. Because he played in 2021, 22, and this year. But that 20 year you get back. Mm-hmm. And so he hasn't made his announcement. I've thought all year he would probably go to the NFL, but now you're hearing strong indication that his stock may not be as high as he wants it, and he may end up going into the portal. He could replace Judkins at Ole Miss. Yeah. I've also heard Texas because he's from Aledo. So is Jace McClellan going to return? Because, look, Roydell Williams from what my good friend Tony Sakalas reported from Tide Illustrated via the Rivals Network yesterday, he's returning, and I wasn't sure what he would do. I thought even though he had an extra year, he might decide to move on to the NFL or transfer. But Roydell, great team guy, he's coming back. You've got Justice Haynes, who we saw break out in said bowl game like a Najee Harris did several years ago in 2017. A same career path, in my opinion. And then you've still got Jam Miller and Richard Young. Mm-hmm. And what I was going to say is Alabama's likely going to get Daniel Hill, the jumbo back out of Meridian, Mississippi, out of this All-American game. You've already got him and Kevin Riley. That's 6 backs, not counting Jace. And then you have people asking about Quinshawn Moneybags. There's no way you're going to add Quinshawn to that mix. So the big question is, what is Jace McClellan going to do? Is he going to move on to another school? Is he going to try to return to Alabama? You wouldn't think so because it's just so crowded. If I were Jace, I would think about turning pro because, look, man, I understand that he could potentially improve his stock with another year, but you don't know because running backs are devalued, as you guys know. You talk a lot of NFL on this show. They're devalued. They're usually more like second-day picks or even third-day. But if Jace McClellan goes in the 3rd or 4th round to the right team, he could have a long career. Because I equate it to Brian Robinson, who came back for a 5th year, but played his whole year his career at Alabama, never complained, could have left, did not. He ends up being, I think, a 3rd-round pick of the Commanders, 3rd or 4th round, and he is their starting running back. He's been very productive. Jace could do the same thing, and the problem, too, with Jace is he's been hurt a lot. Yeah. And so then you're taking a chance if you go back and stay another year in college. What if you get injured? He finished really strong at Alabama, so I'm going to be interested to see what Jace McClellan does in the coming days. But, guys, it's been crazy. Just like we talked about Trez Marshall breaking on your show. It's just constantly, you can't leave your phone. because they're until the 6th, when this portal closes for Alabama, you're going to hear rumors, you're going to see departures. We'll see if there's more additions with guys in the portal. But I still would think with Seth McLaughlin moving on and T.J. Ferguson that Alabama would address center, potentially maybe another defensive lineman, like I said, safety guys. I still think there's a few positions they could address. Mm-hmm. And then I'll tell you another guy that hasn't announced his intentions. Maybe we'll hear it by the end of the show. But Jermaine Burton, he was Alabama's lead receiver. He has a COVID year. Mm-hmm. This is what's so insane about all that. I would think that Jermaine would be going to the NFL.
Yeah.
And because he had a great season, he's got a chance to be drafted. I don't think he got the grade he wanted a year ago. That's why he came back. So is he going to strike while the iron's hot, or is he going to try to return? It's going to be a really interesting next 24 to 48 hours.
For sure about that. Drudy Armand has been our guest, and, we won't even get into the national championship talk.
Okay, I'll get into it very brief.
Okay, very brief. Okay.
Very, very brief.
Throw it in here.
I like Michigan.
All right.
I just think it's a line of scrimmage game. And of course, I've doubted Washington the whole year. I've very rarely picked them, and it always ends up backfiring.
I was on that same train.
So, but I'm going to take Michigan 27-24 under the number. I think it's 4.5 right now, guys. But I would not lay the points. I would take the points from Washington. But I like Michigan in a close game, and for Harbaugh the cheater to get him a championship.
I totally. I do agree. Okay, Michigan does look like the better team, slightly, but we got to hop into a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about this national championship coming up, what these two teams have in common, what they don't, and we'll also hop into the phone line. So don't go anywhere, because you're listening to the Morning Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Injuries at work happen all the time in Alabama. So do motor vehicle and slip and fall accidents. If you're hurt at work or injured in an accident, I want you to call my good friends at Pond, Lehocky, Giordano. That's Pond, Lehocky, Alabama's injury law firm. They got your back just like they've got mine. For personalized legal support, reach out to Pond, Lehocky at 855-774-3838 or pondlehocky.com.
The representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We're going to be talking about rain across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. The good news here is that at least the first half of the day is probably going to be dry. Rain is going to move into the Tennessee Valley as we head into the later part of the afternoon through the evening, and then definitely as we head into the overnight through the first half of the day on Saturday. High temperatures on Friday climbing into the upper 40s and lower 50s. We're dropping into the low 40s as we head into the overnight early Saturday morning. The back half of Saturday afternoon doesn't look too shabby. Temperatures climbing into the lower 50s, dropping into the lower 40s by Sunday morning. And Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Listen weekday afternoons starting at 5 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's perfect!
Hello and welcome back in. John Abraham, Captain Cool alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery here on a fun Friday in no man's land. This Fire is always such a great song to come back. It gets me all so pumped up, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about, guys. We only got to get into a little bit of it, okay? We were peeling back the onion, and we just got a little bit of it with Drew DeArmond from Talking Ball, but we need to talk about this national championship. I know we got a guy on the Neighbors Management Hotline that wants to talk about his Wolverines, so we will get to him here in a second, but make sure you guys remember that this show is presented by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online to fill out your free quote. You can find them at FlemingHSV.com, and remember that Fleming always shows up. You can also tune into the show over on WZZN TV on YouTube, and you can also call in 256-5764
97.7, and hey, we keep getting news out of the transfer portal.
Oh, what are you looking at right now?
2 minutes ago, Georgia star defensive lineman Nazir Stackhouse is returning to school for another season instead of leaving for the NFL.
Hey, they get one guy back, but they lose a bunch of them at the same time. So I mean, that's good. Stackhouse is a good player right there, but I don't know. The transfer portal is getting really lively, even though for most teams, for most players, it's closed to the point where you can't enter into it anymore unless you're coming out of Alabama or you're coming out of Texas. That day obviously extended to the 6th. But, Bandy, I think we got to get into this phone call right here, because not only do we need to get Wolverine Dan's wacky underdog pick, but on top of that, he also needs to give us his final preview of this national championship game. So, Wolverine Dan, how you doing today, man?
Well, first off, Fleming did my roof. I have a standard roof, but I also have a flat roof. And they did a lot of construction also. The flat roof had to be all replaced. The supports, they were 10-foot 2x10s or 2x12s, and he did a really good job. But
nice.
If you ever need them, I recommend them highly. So
definitely.
Well, let's do some business first. The wacky underdog pick. So tell me where the standings is right now, and then how many more picks do we have until you crown a champion?
Okay, so this is the last week of regular season play in the NFL. So this is the final week to get in, okay? For the national championship, it's going to be tripled. And for the NFL slate of games, they're all going to be doubled. So that's what you're looking at on today. And you are standing right now at number 1 with 29 points because the Titans over the Dolphins and then Coastal Carolina's bowl game.
Okay, so who's the closest?
The closest person to you is John at 21 points. So you're above them, but anything can happen with these multipliers on today's fun event.
You. All right, so can I go pro?
You can go pro. It's doubled in pro,
okay.
So definitely go for pro.
Yeah, the national championship's triple, but
yeah, you don't want to go against your team.
I'll get to that because I pretty much know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the pro. Two games intrigue me. Unless there's a third that you think I should get my hands on, but the Chicago-Green Bay game and then the Washington-Dallas game.
Okay, I totally agree with both of those games. I know that there's going to be a lot of players sitting out in a lot of different games. I think that both the Packers and the Bears are going to be playing pretty much everybody, so that one's going to be pretty much all there. I do like that pick. I think that the Bears have a good chance of beating the Packers in the last week, especially after the Packers were able to get a big win last week. But then you look over at the Cowboys-Commanders game. These two teams always like to, go back and forth despite the Cowboys being so good. The Commanders always seem to challenge either the Eagles or the Cowboys. It's just something that happens over there. But,
and then one more, I'm sorry, the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game.
Oh, I just want an asteroid to just... No, I'm joking. Totally joking there. That one, I don't think Lamar Jackson's going to be in that one. But hey... Ravens are the underdog at home, so there you go.
Well, that's pretty. What are the point spreads of those three games?
So for the Ravens and the Steelers, right now the Ravens are a 3.5-point underdog. That'll obviously double. Going down to the Cowboys and Commanders, the Commanders are a 13-point underdog. That doubles, and you're taking home a lot of points.
Yeah.
And then the Bears versus the Packers. Right now the Bears are a 3-point underdog at Green Bay. Cowboys are playing at Washington.
Yeah, I know. See, that's the one I like out of the three, but because I think Washington, we showed them up. That was a robbery. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking
But I
about.
also like the Baltimore thing. I think the Baltimore's backup quarterback's pretty strong.
Yeah.
But then Pittsburgh's got to win to get in. Where's it at? Anyway, I forgot.
That one's in Baltimore. That Baltimore wind hits differently too.
I don't need a lot of points. And if somebody picks the national championship and for some reason Washington wins, that's not a lot. We winning double the 3.5. That's like 7.
Yeah.
I'll go Baltimore.
There you go.
Baltimore. Why not?
All right, we're putting you down for Baltimore. Now get into your Washington-Michigan national championship thing. Don't take too long, but I want to hear exactly what you think's going to happen.
No,
brother.
I won't take too long. I think Minter is the difference, the defensive coach.
Mm-hmm.
He threw a lot at Alabama. That Alabama, part of Alabama's problem was basically just snapping the ball. Okay, that was a big part of it.
Yeah.
But then beyond that, I think he's a really good defensive scheme kind of guy. He can change things in the midstream and do what in hide players behind other players, blitzing and whatnot. I think that's going to be critical, and I believe our offensive line's strong enough to where we're going to control the ball on the ground. Which anytime you take time away from their quarterback handling the ball, I think that holds well for us. I think defense wins championships. You've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm pulling for my Wolverines, of course, and I believe we can win this thing. But I have a request that I requested on Tom's show if it's not too much trouble.
Yes.
If for some reason we are fortunate enough to win Monday night, for that full year, can you call me Natty Danny?
Look.
Natty Danny?
I was listening to the call yesterday, and I was thinking, is Tom really trying to dance around this? I'm going to be honest. That sounds totally fine. I'll call you Natty Danny. I'm all for it. So at least you'll get it from me. I don't know about from Tom, but that means
Tom,
It might be a little tougher to convince.
He is my little brother. I am older than your father, so he told me off the air one day. He said, "I really like busting your stone." I said, "Yeah, that's what brothers do. Don't worry about it." So
I'll definitely.
Anyways, have a great weekend. If you go out and party, get a designated driver. And I don't say that enough because it's not worth a $10,000 to $12,000 ticket, lose your license.
Yeah.
It might hurt someone, but just pay a $20-$30 Uber. Come on, you can afford that.
Yeah, definitely
with
can.
that said, gentlemen, go Ravens, and hopefully I could be victorious and take my friends golfing.
I would love to see it happen. Good stuff, Wolverine Dan. Enjoy the weekend as well.
See you, bro.
See you. Good stuff. Soon to be, possibly, Natty Danny.
Possibly.
Possibly. This Washington team's still good.
It's going to be decided at the line of scrimmage.
But I got to agree with him that that Michigan team is able to run the rock and keep the ball away from these other teams that love to play high-powered offenses, and that's working completely against this Washington Huskies team. Bandy, we got another guy on the hotline trying to jump in with his picks, or what's going on over there?
Yeah, we do on the Flow hotline. We got Shane in Decatur. What's going on, Shane?
What's up, fellas? Good morning. How are you?
Oh, we're good. We're great, actually. I'm leaving for Helen, Georgia after this. I don't know if you've been there, but I hear it's a very nice German little town in Georgia, up in the mountains. I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, I have heard of that. Yeah, I heard that was really nice.
Yeah.
But do me a favor. What are the two biggest underdog picks?
Okay.
The two biggest ones?
Well,
all right.
Well, first things
Let's
first,
see.
the one that's tripled right now is definitely going to be that national championship. So it'll get you around 15 points. Obviously, it's standing at a 4.5-point underdog for Washington. And then over in the NFL, we were just talking about this with Wolverine Dan, but it's all doubled. And the Commanders are an underdog against the Cowboys. This is going to be in Washington, and they are currently a plus 13 underdog against the Cowboys. So that one is huge. And then again, multiply that by 2, and we're looking at some big points. But those are currently the biggest ones for you. And then, of course, there's some scattered throughout the NFL realm.
Just found out my team's got a pretty big spread if you want to go bold on it, but I don't think they're winning tonight.
Jeez, he's going to throw in basketball. Shane, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
It's doubled.
Man, I'm going to tell you right now, I used to live in Southern Maryland, and I could not stand that they're the Redskins at that time, so that's what I still call them. But anyway, you know what? I hate the Cowboys. Give me the Commanders.
Okay, I like it. That's a big pick right there, all right? So, I mean, it's going to get you up there. Let's look first at where you are in the standings, all right? Shane, I'm going to be honest with you. It's not looking good for you, but you're sitting at the last spot. You got 2 points from that Washington over Oregon State. So you've found success for a Washington team, just not, in the same area, a totally different Washington team. But we'll definitely put you down for that. You're going to, if Washington does get the win, have over 20 points. You're going to get close to that top 3 at least. And you know what? We might get you a pat on the back, if anything.
Hey, that'll work. Hey, all right, fellas. You guys have a good day.
You as well. Have a wonderful weekend, brother.
You too.
Good stuff from Shane from Decatur. That's big points right there.
That'd be 26 points.
That's 26 points.
26.
26 plus the 2 that he's got. Oh my. He'd have 28 points.
What would that put him at?
It put him at 28, second place. Ooh. Right behind Wolverine Dan's 29 points. Damn it. Look, everybody is in it. Right. Everybody has a chance at this point except for Shane.
The only other one above it I could find was, coincidentally enough, my Utah Jazz, who are a 13.5-point underdog tonight against Boston.
Oh, my gosh. Shane, hit the text window if you want to get that one in instead.
But let me remind you, this is against the Celtics at home, who are 16-0 right now at home.
Oh. Yeah, I can see why that spread's as large as it is.
I like my group. I really like Markkanen and Colin Sexton and Keontae George and Walker Kessler.
Yeah.
I don't think we're taking it tonight.
Regardless, we appreciate Shane calling in, getting his wacky underdog pick. We're going to have another season of it, so don't worry. We're going to go into the baseball season. We're going to go into the hockey season, even basketball. Going to have a little bit of fun. And why not? College basketball is going to be hitting really hard once the NFL season's over. I mean, it already is. But who's, paying 100% attention to that right now? You know what I'm saying, Bandy?
But then again, if Detroit could almost beat Boston at home, maybe we can.
That is true. Either way, we got to hop into a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the transfer portal, maybe talk a little bit about this national championship game, because we're pushing it back a little bit. And on top of that, we're taking your calls for the wacky underdog pick, so don't go anywhere, because you're listening to The Morning Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
The all-new Huntsville Boat Show returns to the Von Braun Center January 11th through the 14th, and I'll be broadcasting the Tom Abraham Show live from there at lunchtime on the 11th and 12th. The Huntsville Boat Show is an exciting time for all boat enthusiasts as it allows buyers to save thousands of dollars on the purchase of a new boat or just shop many brands for your future purchase. Plus, many other retailers will be on hand as well for all things water. So plan to be at the Huntsville Boat Show at the VBC January 11th through 14th. See you there.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman. We're going to be talking about rain across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. The good news here is that at least the first half of the day is probably going to be dry. Rain is going to move into the Tennessee Valley as we head into the later part of the afternoon through the evening, and then definitely as we head into the overnight through the first half of the day on Saturday. High temperatures on Friday climbing into the upper 40s and lower 50s. We're dropping into the low 40s as we head into the overnight early Saturday morning. The back half of Saturday afternoon doesn't look too shabby. Temperatures climbing into the lower 50s, dropping into the lower 40s by Sunday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hi, this is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Join us every week for Alabama football right here.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hello, welcome back in. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey, Lowery, hanging with you guys for an hour straight here on the Morning Blitz. We've had some fun callers get into the show, talk about their wacky underdog picks, who they want to win the national championship, as well as one Mr. Drew DeArmond from Talking Ball. It was a great conversation with him about really everything that's going on in the transfer portal, and on top of that, talked a little bit about the new signing of Zach Alley that is looking to happen pretty soon for Oklahoma as they grab him from Jackson State to be their new defensive coordinator. There's going to be a lot of fun things to keep an eye on throughout really this week, next week, the week after that, really just all the way until the next football season. That's what we're hoping for, at least. We're going to be definitely keeping an eye on it and giving you guys all the news you need to know, whether it's in the football realm, whether it's in the basketball realm, whether it's in the hockey realm, because I can't wait to talk hockey. How many people care about it? They want to hear the Huntsville Havoc. That's what they definitely want to hear about. And they definitely want to hear about maybe the Nashville Predators. We got a lot of those fans around here. Maybe the Florida Panthers. We can talk about them. The thing about me is a lot of my favorite pro teams, though, are up north. And that's on me, okay? I'm a fan of the Cleveland Browns. I like the Boston Bruins. It's my only Boston team I'm actually favoring. I like the New York Islanders. Gotta love them. They have the best bagels. Yeah, there you go. Those are my, and also, of course, baseball, New York Yankees.
A little bit better than me, honestly. I'm a little spread out. It's like I've got the Braves for baseball.
Okay.
I still don't have my NFL team.
You still don't have it.
I'm still looking for my NFL team.
Who are you rocking with this season? Look, you go a whole season without anybody?
Yeah, no, I don't even know. Maybe that's why I wasn't as invested in fantasy. Maybe that's my reason. I need to find a team.
I thought you had like the Detroit Lions or something at one point.
I did when
Why did you have the Detroit Lions?
He's on the Saints now. The guy he likes anime, the running back.
Oh, Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams, yeah.
Yeah.
When he left, I'm like, no, I'm not as invested anymore.
Yeah, he's on the Saints. I don't even see him really doing too much now. He was a stud whenever he was at Detroit. He's still good, but they don't play him as much, of course, now whenever this team gets at full flex. Speaking of...
college, it's easy.
Yeah, it's a lot easier over there. Speaking of running backs, though, because you were talking about it, a big running back name headed away from his football team just yesterday, and that was in the form of Dalvin Cook. The once great Dalvin Cook. This guy had so many 1,000-plus yard seasons with the Vikings. He goes on, plays with the Jets, thinking that they're going to have a Super Bowl run. That's not what happens. And so in this, NFL economy, he's able to jump out of that team and go on to another team that might actually have a chance this year in the Baltimore Ravens. Dalvin Cook is now a Baltimore Raven.
Yep.
I would have thought that, maybe the Browns would have wanted to snag him.
He
But
hit
they
the
didn't.
portal.
He hit the portal. And unlike in college football, you're able to actually play for the team in the same season. But I feel like we're getting to that point in college football as well, Bandy. But we got to talk a little bit about this Michigan-Washington matchup because I feel like we're obligated to. I got to say, if Michigan, these are my predictions, by the way. I want, and this is no, hate to Wolverine Dan's team. Obviously, I love I love, what he does, what he brings to the show, his rhetoric that he brings. But I honestly think that Washington has a chance at winning this game due to the sheer offensive power, I will say. Now, if, the Harbaugh and this Michigan team do what they did against Alabama minus all of the mistakes, then I think there's definitely a higher percentage chance that Michigan's going to win. But I think if Washington's going to win, it's going to end up being around 31-27. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think the scoring's going to be a little bit higher. But if Michigan wins, on the other hand, I'm thinking it's going to be 27. I'll say 21. I'll say 27, 28-21. That's going to be my prediction. Bandy, do you have any predictions on the scores going into this game? Who do you pick? And I'll just go with my team that is the opposite of you.
We'll go with your team that's the opposite of me.
Yeah, because I think you're going to pick Michigan. I mean, that's
I'm going to pick Michigan.
Because they're a stellar team. They beat Alabama.
I mean, look, they are a stellar team.
If they beat Alabama, then technically they're number 1, Alabama's number 2, and then Washington can get blown out by Michigan. I mean, that's just the way we want to think, at least.
Okay, but look, I don't know. There's something with me where I don't like rooting for the team that beat the team that I like.
No, yeah.
Here, it's like, look, you beat the team that I was actually – you beat the team I was invested in.
Yeah.
Why would I want you to win?
Yeah.
I want you to fail.
It reminds me of the
Phillies. I want
Phillies.
you to feel like how I felt.
Reminds me of the Phillies in the playoffs against the Braves.
And then I'll be rooting for the team that beat you.
Yeah. I don't want to go for Michigan, but I'm not going for Michigan. But I do think Michigan is going to win.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
But Michael
the
Penix...
The team that beat my team is the team I root for.
Michael Penix Jr., on the other hand, I mean, he's just the way that he plays. I do think the quarterback battle, when it comes down to it, Michael Penix is the better quarterback. But then when we look at that defensive line for Michigan, we look at that offensive line protecting J.J. McCarthy. I mean, he doesn't even have to get to the point where he's scrambling all over the place like Michael Penix Jr. has to do at times. So I do think that the solid foundation of Michigan's team as a whole is going to lead to them winning. But you will see me rooting for Washington just because I still have a little bit of hate towards that team right now. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, if I'm looking at it, I think Michigan does have the highest chance to win.
Yeah.
I will be rooting, though, for Washington.
Okay.
I will be rooting for them to win. But it all just comes down. We just kind of, again, we were talking about dancing around stuff earlier. We can talk about as much surrounding the national championship as we want.
Yeah.
It really just all comes back around to who's winning the line of scrimmage.
Yep. And the defense, of course.
Can you put pressure on Michael Penix Jr. and can you allow him to not just do what he wants and make something happen, which he's incredibly good at?
Well, wacky underdog picks are still a thing. Bandy, do you have a predicted score for it?
A predicted score?
You got to throw down a predicted score. I'm trying to see if John wants to hop in here to get a wacky underdog pick. So I'm gonna throw him a little text wacky underdog pick. That's what I'm gonna throw. I get an underdog.
What is the over under for this game?
Over under is 55.5.
I'm seeing 56.5.
Okay, well it might have gone up since the last time I saw it, but I've been looking at 55.5.
Maybe ESPN's weird about their over unders.
All over the place.
55.5. I'm gonna say. I think it's gonna go over, but it's still gonna be close. I mean, I'm still feeling like a 31-28 scoreline.
Okay. And you think Michigan gonna get the top dog?
I'm gonna say Washington.
Okay, that's kind of what I was going with. I feel like it'll have to be a very close game if Washington does win.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
no team's gonna bow out. No, not at all.
Anything can happen, and that's the crazy thing about college football. Anything can truly happen, but if we're being stern in what we've seen throughout the season, especially with these two teams who we've counted out multiple times, I think that we can stick to a 31-28. Washington wins, and that's if all things go the way Washington needs them to go. I will say though, if Michigan does win, it's going to be a lower scoring game, slightly, and I think it'll be 28-21.
Yeah,
I think that'll be the score.
Yeah, like Washington's able to find those openings. Their defense is still solid.
Yeah,
it's still
solid.
It's still pretty dang good.
But they haven't had to play up against Michigan yet.
Right.
It's a different type of team right there. Oregon, Bo Nix, understandable, okay? But it's still a Pac-12 team. Twice. By the way, still thinking about where that Oregon team would end up if Washington does win. Because, again, Oregon's only lost to one team this season, despite them having 2 losses, and it's both been from Michael Penix Jr. and this Washington Huskies team. So what does that say for that team out west? We got to hop into a break, but the Wacky Underdog picks are wide open for you guys to hop in. It is the last week to get those tickets for 2 to Gunner's Landing, as well as a cart. So definitely hop in while you still have the chance. 256-5764.
97.7. Get them in now. If you pick the national championship, it is tripled.
Tripled.
Anything else? NBA, NFL, whatever you want. College basketball, any of that. Doubled.
Good stuff. We're going to hop into a break. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Morning Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
Hi folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman. We're going to be talking about rain across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. The good news here is that at least the first half of the day is probably going to be dry. Rain is going to move into the Tennessee Valley as we head into the later part of the afternoon through the evening, and then definitely as we head into the overnight through the first half of the day on Saturday. High temperatures on Friday climbing into the upper 40s and lower 50s. We're dropping into the low 40s as we head into the overnight early Saturday morning. The back half of Saturday afternoon doesn't look too shabby. Temperatures climbing into the lower 50s, dropping into the lower 40s by Sunday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You've got it locked on your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Nick Saban Show. This is Eli Gold, and this is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Madden 09. We'll keep going back to it, baby.
See, we know this song from different places.
Where do you know it from?
I mean, I didn't play Madden 09.
Let me guess. ATV versus MX or MX versus ATV, whatever that game's called?
Not even a game, dude.
Not even a game.
No, have you ever seen Blue Mountain State?
Oh, I've seen some clips from it. I actually have not watched it, though.
You should watch it, especially now. I mean, Alan, the guy who plays Thad in it, he's making a name for himself now.
Okay. So
he's Reacher.
Oh, he is Reacher.
Yeah, he's Reacher. He's probably going to be...
Tom loves that guy.
He's slated, I think, to play, possibly play Batman in the future.
Oh, I could definitely see that happen. I think I've seen some pictures of him in like a supposed Reacher or a Batman costume. Not sure though. I think he'd do well, but he doesn't have Bruce Wayne hair. You know, he just doesn't have that. Maybe they'll put a wig on him. Either way, welcome back into the Morning Blitz. You guys can hop in. Wacky Underdog Picks is going down. It is the last week to get into that Gunner's Landing prize. And I will say, John he can't call in. He's still got problems going on. Of course he does.
No.
Don't worry about him, though. He's a resilient fella. But he actually chose to go the national championship route, and he's going with Michigan to lose against Washington. So that's, again, tripled, so he'll get around 15 points for that. I still haven't done the math for it. It's a 4.5 spread, so definitely an interesting one for him. So if you guys haven't gotten your picks in yet, 256-5764
97.7
is the number to hop in. Bandy, what do you got going on this weekend, brother?
Not too sure. We're probably going to be having a relaxing weekend. I mean, we had a lot of family come over last weekend, and really been hanging out with everybody, and it's been fun.
That's nice. That's
been
very
great.
nice. Well,
but hey, we got transfer portal news.
Oh, we already got dropped the transfer portal. What's going on now, Bandiman?
4 minutes ago, Florida. Well, actually, not transfer portal news, but hiring news.
Oh,
Florida is expected to. This is from Matt Zenit, so transfer portal guy. Hey, keep him up to date. Florida is expected to hire former Texas A&M associate AD for football Mark Robinson in a high-ranking position. So he's going to be joining the Florida Gators organization over there from Texas A&M.
Very nice, very nice. Going to be a lot of fun to see how that works out for them. Another thing that I do want to get into, but I'm going to probably have to wait until next week to hop into this, is I know there's a lot of people talking about the Big Ten and the SEC and which one just means more. Of course, the SEC just means more. I mean, the difficulty of schedule and all that stuff, it really just adds. It shows you almost, I think it's half of the SEC is in that top 10. But then you look over at what the Big Ten's got coming, and it is a lot of intriguing teams, especially in this national championship, as we see two teams, one of them going to the Big Ten, one of them already a very stable foundation in that Big Ten, Michigan and Washington going up against each other, whereas the Alabama Crimson Tide obviously are not going. The Texas Longhorns are not going. Texas going to be a future SEC team as well. So it really shows you that there's going to be bright future for both of these conferences. But right now, the Big Ten is going to get the last laugh, despite, well, Washington not being a part of it just yet. They're a part of the Pac-12 still, so we can't really throw that at you. So it's only one Big Ten team going on, but going to be a lot of fun stuff to look at when it comes to that. We've already made our predictions for the national championship. I believe me and Bandy settled on a Washington win, and it would be 31-28. That's what we got. That's what we got, Bandy.
Yeah, 31-28.
Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling.
That's what I'm feeling it too. Now, do I think it's gonna happen? There's a 30% chance of it happening, and I think that there is a 60% chance of the other thing happening where Michigan gets a win. So where's that other 10% going? Where's the other? I don't know. Maybe the lights will go out or something like that. Who really knows? It's gonna be a lot of fun nonetheless. And predicting this game is about as hard as doing algebra, like 10 years after you're out of school. You just kind of forget it,
Yeah, it's tough, but I mean. But we also got to think about this. Once we get to Monday, it's going to be the last time we ever see the 4-team playoff ever again.
Yeah, and we got to wish it goodbye. We got to say goodbye, and then we'll think, was it really that bad? Was it really that bad? I mean, obviously this is the best year for it just because of the way that this, is all worked out, despite obviously Alabama not making it all the way. It still leads up to one of the most intriguing showdowns with Michigan going up against Washington.
Oh, for sure, but... It has led. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's a miracle. It's worked as well as it has for as long as it has.
Yeah.
Like that. This year, the final year of its existence, was like probably the only year we really had a major problem with with rankings are like kind of, it really could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Because the last one I can really think of is when Ohio State and Alabama were battling to get into the 4 spot years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's like 1 year Ohio State got in. And it's like, come on, what do you mean Ohio State got in?
It's like there's
and then literally the next year Alabama got in over Ohio State. And it's like,
there's just enough spots to where it
We deserve
leaves
it.
a team out that really probably deserve to be in there as well. So there's been a lot of controversy with it. But
12 might be too much.
The same thing is going to happen with 12. We're going to look at some teams. Obviously, not everybody's going to be happy with what happens. But the 12-team playoff, I mean, you say it's too much. I think it's just right. I think it's definitely going to lead to some intrigue at least. And hey, if they want to change it, they can change it later down the road, okay? But I'm still, crying because I still think about the BCS championship. That's what I still think about on the daily.
Oh, man.
But those were the days.
Look, you're the number 1 team. You're the number 2 team.
Go. Just play each other.
I remember they actually had, God, it was so long ago. It was when I believe it was the national championship of Ohio State and Florida. But they were showing it in theaters.
Oh, really?
So you were able to watch it on the big screen, and that's what I went and did.
Did you really?
Yeah. It was before it became the Cinemark, but it was the rave.
Huh. Okay. Well, that was quite a little bit ago. It was back in 2007.
Yeah.
But definitely some fun times to look back on. But you guys can make your predictions. Go over to 97.7 ESPN on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And you guys can throw your predictions at us. We'll have that game live on Monday, so look forward to that one. But a lot of fun stuff going on throughout the weekend, so stick with us here on 97.7. But on top of that, we got some amazing programming coming right around the corner. Chuck Oliver's show coming up right after this, and then Tom Abraham, followed by Paul Feinbaum, and then the drive to finish out the week here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Have a good day, everybody.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Stan McDonald. Stan, tell everybody why you're the best damn dirt